Alhamdulillah. uh, Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum, guys. I've woken up early today, and just a little reminder that waking up early, even though it's something which I should try to do more often, is good. There's barakah in the morning, and it's good to wake up early because you'll be able to do more work. So today I wish to talk about verbs and temporality, and maybe we might do some practice of identifying nouns and verbs. So let's first recognize some verbs, some verbal sentences. Hopefully you guys can hear me properly. Alright, our first sentence. وَسَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. So if you guys remember, this is a particle. This one here, a particle. This is a this is the future tense marker for the distant future, or the near future as it's called. So what is this? It has quite a lot of words. You might think, if you haven't like read a tafsir, or if you like haven't studied Arabic, as in not grammar, just words, lexicon, you might think this might be an ism, a noun, but no. This is a verb. The only difference is this verb is in the, I think it's called second person plural. Basically, in Arabic, there are multiple pronouns for depending on how many people you're talking about. Since this is you, there is enter, enti, antum, antuma. I've already antuma, yeah. And antun. So this enter is for the male singular, one person. Anti, female singular, one lady. Entum, multiple people. This can refer to a group, just a group in general, like if it's all men or if it's all men and all women. Like or if you had like a mixture. Antuma, two people. Entun, specifically all women. In this case, this takes antum, multiple. So this is a verb. I think in maybe a few lessons time, I will teach you guys maybe how to conjugate verbs. Well, that's one sentence for now. Let's get another sentence in here. Let's get another sentence in here. قد ضلوا ضلالا بعيدا. I forgot to translate the first sentence. The first sentence means, and you will all know, or and you will know. It's from Surah Takathur. قد ضلوا ضلالا بعيدا. I'm not sure which surah this is from because I haven't really memorized that much Quran, unfortunately. But it essentially means um, they have gone astray like very far. So let's break the sentence down. قد, if you guys remember, it's a harf. It's a harf. ضلوا is a fi'l. I'll give this one to you this time. It's in the third person plural, i.e., it's talking about a group of people. And again, Arabic has pronouns for multiple people when you're talking about them in the third person, such as huwa, hiya, huma, hum, and hunna. I think it has a shadda at the end. So huwa, it's just one person, he. Hiya, she, a single person as well. Huma, two people. Hum, multiple people. Could be like, it means they. Like let's say you had a class full of students and a teacher. They, just them lot. And hun, which is just specifically for females. Something I should point out. I haven't really seen the third person, um, female plural, or even second person female plural used a lot besides like classical texts such as the Quran. Um, I'm not too sure why. Maybe because the groups of women just has this. So maybe I'm not reading the like books that specifically talk just about women or refer to women only. But it's good to know it exists because there is some surahs within the Quran that just use the female stuff. You guys can kind of see my eyes here. I'm not trying to reveal my face here. Not trying to reveal my face here. And let's get one more sentence. Sorry about that. Let's carry on. As I was saying, one more sentence. خلق خلق السماوات السماوات والأرض. أرض يا أرض بالحق. So خلق السماوات والأرض بالحق. That's if I'm stopping. If I'm not stopping the sentence, I should say بالحق and then blah blah blah. وكذا 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 and so on and so on and so on. That's your word of the day. وكذا 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 and so on and so on and so on. So خلق, clearly you can see it looks like a verb, and it is. It means to create. This is a fi'l. This samawati. It can either mean skies or heavens, but in this context, it's heavens. This is a ism. I'll write it here. Or ism. This what is harf, if you guys remember. Al-ard is another ism. It means the earth. And B is another harf, if you guys remember. And al-haq, or just haq on its own, is an ism. And you guys remember how to identify this stuff. Khalaqa, it doesn't have a particle, but like usually Okay, not usually, but like verbs tend to have three letters, and if the letters happen to be like this, like let's say fatha, 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 or like fatha, dhamma, fatha, fatha, kisra, fatha, it it's a verb. Or just look around what's happening in the sentence. There is something you guys will learn later. It's to do with the case endings of words. But just know that whenever you see a verb, if a word after it, an ism, has a change in its case ending, if it's not a dhamma as in this thing, dhamma, dhammatain, and it's a fatha or fathatain, it's usually the word that has done that usually is that verb. But that is for later. Yeah, it is a bit difficult to identify the verbs sometimes because sometimes they can look like it's like how do you read this? If you this came up in the Quran and I actually came across this, I was actually very proud of myself. And the way you pronounce it is iltaqa, not altaqa. Altaqa would be wrong because this is not al. This is just how the verb is made. It's on the if ta'ala pattern, but you guys will learn about this one day if I'm able to teach myself or learn from a teacher sarf again and teach it to you guys. So now to get onto the main point of the video. The main point of the video. Temporality, verbs and temporality. Al-huduf. What is al-huduf? Al-huduf. Essentially, all verbs indicate temporality. I dot e. It happened at some point. For example, if I say yaktubu rajulu, the man writes, it happens right now in the present or in the future, depending on the context. So, how does this challenge ad-dawam, if you guys remember? Ad-dawam, perpetuity. The sense that something will always be true, the sense that something will always last. Well, let's see. يكتب الرجال. No, الرجل, not plural. الرجل and الرجل كاتب. الرجل كاتب. So, what is the difference? Let me get out the glare. That should be, yeah, okay, that's good. The first sentence, يكتب الرجل. It happened at some point. The man is writing. And الرجل كاتب. The man is also writing. The man is writing. So what's the difference? Since this happened at some point, the man is just writing like presently. Because if we said كتب الرجل, the man wrote. He wrote at another point, i.e., the past. But when we say where is it? الرجل كاتب, since الدوام has no verb, the sentence that has الدوام has no verb. The statements are always true. So the man is essentially always writing. And what is a person who is always writing called? A writer or even an author. But in this context, it's a writer. So this is how we get the word writer, katibun. Whereas In other sentences, it just might mean writing. In most sentences, it means a writer, الرجل كاتب, because, like I said, the worm means the statement's always true because there's no verb indicating or suggesting to us that it happened at some point in time. These are the subtleties within um, العربية الفصحى, actually not just الفصحى, الكلاسيكية أو القديمة, which I don't really think exists in اللغة العربية الحديثة, or MSA, Modern Standard Arabic. Another sentence: ينام الأمير. I will not put the case markings. And الأمير put the thingy on the wrong thing. That's fine. الأمير نائم. ينام الأمير والأمير نائم. So, ينام الأمير, the prince is sleeping, like he is sleeping right now. But الأمير نائم, the prince is, let's say, always sleeping. The fact that the prince is sleeping is true. This could be him sleeping more in like a metaphorical sense. What do I mean? He is unaware. He doesn't know. Maybe there's something happening behind him, but he's just sleeping. He's completely oblivious to what is happening around him. And I guess that's it for today. Unless I make like another video directly after this. So I guess um yeah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Unless I see you guys in the next video.